Hey everyone, North Central here again. Thanks for tuning in. We're back here at the back of my house again, back here in the little area that I have this little garden at. And I just wanted to do a quick run around here, let you see how things are doing. Now, here in front of me, these two tomato plants here in the red cages are the Burpee Steakhouse. They're the big beef steaks. You're going to get about 2 to 4 pounds. We'll get a close-up of those here in a minute. On the sides here are my two blazing banana peppers, and I've also bought Burpee, a hybrid. This one's doing very, very well. The one here behind me, not so much. Looks like a couple of leaves got knocked off. We just had a really big downpour storm, high winds and stuff. So I had to come out here and see how things are doing, and I wanted to bring the camera along with it. So let's concentrate on these big, beautiful things right here. Doing very well. Both plants have split. In fact, this one's split again here at the top, and so is this one, as well as down here at the bottom. So very, very vigorous plants. A lot of suckers. You just got to keep coming out about every 3 or 4 days, knock suckers down off of it. But they also putting out some nice looking tomatoes, and I'm going to zoom in on one in particular. All right, so this right here is the tomato that I wanted to zoom in on. I noticed this tomato about 3 days ago, and it was just about the size of the very tip of my pinky. Okay, and now to give you a size of what it is now. Now this is just within just a couple of days. Here's a quarter, so you can see the size of this tomato. Okay, maybe if I bring it over here, it has grown really, really fast. Now this is the Steakhouse by Burpee. Again, this is going to be the 2 to 4 pound tomatoes if I can keep them growing good. And right now they seem to be doing very, very well. There's more tomatoes on this section. There's that one here. Of course, there's a little one here. And then up here, there's another one. So I've got 4, maybe 5 tomatoes right here off this one cropping. And then I've got more flowering at the top. All right, so both tomatoes, both the peppers, I'm sure this one will start doing a lot better. I'm going to go ahead and get some string and tie it up to the stake here finally, since it's starting to fall down. But all 4 plants here doing well. Let's go on over to the Supersauces. Okay, so again, the 2 in the center in the cages are Supersauce tomatoes, again by Burpee, a hybrid, kind of like a large Rama, except it's a round tomato, but it tastes like a Rama. A 1 to 2 pound tomato, and of course on the sides are my California bell peppers, and they seem to be doing pretty good. Again, I need to tie them up to the stake. They're large enough to do that now. I've done some tying around, but you know, finding time to do things like this out in the garden, especially when it's raining, is tedious. So I do have a tomato here, a couple tomatoes on the vine here. Let me go ahead and bring you in closer and give you a shot of those. All right, so here's the shot of one of the Supersauces. This was on the right-hand plant that I was standing at, and of course there's the rest of the flowers. See if I can't get you a shot of the other plant. So this is the shot of the other plant on the little sections that it has, and Supersauce tomato, and then a Supersauce tomato with 3 more flowers here that ought to be good and fertilized and going to produce some more. And again, just to give you some reference of how large these are, there is a quarter. So the plants are doing well. I've got this flowering part here. Alright, so the plants are doing well. I have the tomatoes growing down here on the lower part, which were the first flowers that came in. And then, of course, up here near the top, I have another set of flowers here, another one here, and then some new ones coming out of the top here as it grows up. Same thing with the other plant over here. I've got a couple other sections of flowers coming off, and everything appears to be doing very well here. Alright, so we're here at the side of my house here. The tomato plants and stuff are sitting off a little bit nearer to the fence that I have here around my little garden area out back. These are up against my house. This is the largest bed that I have back here. It's about 12 feet long. So these are the Kentucky blue green beans. And as you can see, they are starting to climb up the trellis system that I have here, and they're doing well. I'm not real sure what happened here in the center because I didn't get any beans coming up here, but on this end almost all the way to the half and over here on this end I have some good green beans. Now these are heirlooms and they're apparently doing well. Now down here in front, and you'll have to forgive the tall grass, it's been raining every day, so it's been hard to get out here and try and mow and clean up. But I do have a couple beets that's come up, and they're getting bigger. So I can't get the grass out of the way. They're getting bigger, nice, good looking purple vines coming up. Another one over here, another one back here. And then on the ends there are the sweet peppers that I have. And you know, they're growing, they're nice and green. I did tie them to the stakes because they were starting to want to lean over because they were kind of top heavy. So everything in this garden is doing well, but I wanted to show you the green beans and how they're starting to grow up the trellises, even after a real heavy downpour like we just had. Okay, so strawberries in the pallet planters. 2 strawberry plants planted, one here and one here, and then again the 4 back here. And as you can see, they're doing well. Big old nice green leaves coming up. They're putting off more every day. And this one right here, this is actually a Supersauce tomato. I just went ahead and stuck it in there. It was a sucker, and it was a big sucker. It was about 1.5 feet long, and I just trimmed it up and stuck it down in the dirt just to see if it would grow. I'm not really expecting it to, but if it takes off, it takes off, and if it doesn't, I'll just pluck it out and put it in the composter. But strawberry plants are doing well. No strawberries yet, but I'm not really expecting to get any strawberries off of it. This is their first year, and I don't really expect strawberries until possibly next year. But I water them all the time, and as you can see, great big huge nice leaves. Alright, so these are the 3 tomatoes that I have in the self-watering buckets. Now this one I took a large dog bag, or dog food bag, and I just cut it in half and turned it inside out and wrapped it around this. I want to see if this is going to help keep the bucket cooler in hot weather with the sun out and everything than with, of course, these. And of course the sun hasn't been out a whole lot since I've done it. Now you can see I took some bamboo with this one, and I just made a little trellis here, a little cage like for this one. This one I just added this little stake in here. I just picked it up off the ground and stuck it in there. And the reason for it was with the heavy rains and stuff, this plant fell right over. So I went ahead and picked it back up. I'm going to leave that in here, and I'm going to end up getting another cage like this one here behind us, the red cage, and poke it down through the top to help secure this plant. And of course up here I do have flowers, and it looks like I do have a couple little tiny tomatoes coming on at the top. But this one is a Steakhouse, and these 2 are Supersauces. So let's move over to the side of the house where I've got the West Virginia 63s, and we'll see how those are doing. Okay, well, it appears that everything is doing well. I went ahead and brought some of the limbs on the outside of the cage so it would support everything inside. I made a couple more holes in here so that I can get my hand in. And just about every one that I'm seeing here has a little tomato on. So that's always a good sign. So let's go ahead and take a look over here at the ones that I have the red plates that go onto the bottom from Burpee, the Matorators or whatever they're called. Alright, so here's one with the Maturator on it. And I watered this. I put the water right in the red Maturator, and it just goes right down the holes. And I do have fertilizer on the bottom side of these holes, okay, so that it gets plenty of fertilizer. It does have a little tomato on it, and it's just as big as the other plants, just as green as the other plants, and it seems to be doing just fine. It doesn't seem to be doing any better, but it does seem to be doing fine. Now, one thing I'll say about the Maturators is that it definitely keeps more of the weeds away from the plant. So the only weeds that I really have are just right here by the very edge of my cage, and I don't actually have to stick my hand in here really to pick a lot of these weeds out of here, which I really need to do because there's weeds all over this thing. I haven't weeded it for probably about a week and a half because every time I come home everything's so wet. But looks good. West Virginia 63s are doing good. And let's go back around to the back porch. Okay, so tomatoes are tomatoes and peppers are peppers, but they're all little tiny differences in between each subspecies of the plants. All the tomatoes are doing well. Every single plant has tomatoes on it. All of the peppers are doing well. Although none of them have any peppers on it yet, I imagine in the next 2 to 3 weeks I'll probably start seeing that. The beans are doing well, and again in the next couple of weeks I'll start seeing beans. They're going to grow right up that trellis and start producing. The strawberries, again, they're nice, getting big green leafy plants, but no strawberries. I may see a few, but I'm really not expecting to get any type of a yield until at least next year, or any type of a large strawberry until next year. So that's pretty much it with the garden and what's going on and how things look. So till next time, this is North Central. Thanks for watching.